the late Venerable Master Ching Kung, he is a big and huge supporter of world peace. In his opinion, there are 4 things that we need to do it right if we were to achieve world peace and harmony. He said, equality between countries, equality between political groups, equality between ethnic groups, and last but not least, equality between the different religious groups. When Master was living in Singapore in 1997 to year 2000, he united 9 different religious groups in Singapore. And when he moved to Toowoomba, he had the vision of building a model city of peace and harmony in Toowoomba itself. So we're going to spend the next session understanding how a peace model was being built in Toowoomba. Title of the next panel, Interfaith and Multicultural Cooperation in Action, the Toowoomba Model. We shall now invite Reverend Melissa Conway, Associate Priest, Clergy St. James Church, Toowoomba, Australia, Dr. Stephen Hughes, Pastoral Care Services Coordinator for Darling Downs Health Services, member of Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group, Australia. We would also like to invite Mr. Shannon Bowens, First Nation Waka Waka Tribe Representative, member of Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group, Australia. We would also like to invite Ms. English Catherine, Senior Australian Police Officer, main coordinator between the police community and Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group with the culturally and linguistics diverse groups. I managed to get past everything. All right. I shall now pass the floor to our Reverend to help us with the moderation.
Excellencies and Venerables, religious and civic leaders, distinguished guests, volunteers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us towards the end of our day at this wonderful conference. I first offer apologies from Mr. Mohammed Hanif Abdul Razak, who was unable to travel because of health concerns. We're presenting today as a team from Toowoomba, and I'm joined here by Dr. Stephen Hughes, Mr. Shannon Bowens, and Senior Constable Catherine English. We're presenting as a team from Toowoomba, and we're delighted to represent and speak on behalf of our colleagues in the Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group. The group was brought together by the late Venerable Master Ching Kung, and we continue to work together and honour his vision and legacy. And we have some slides that we'll be presenting as a team, and our first speaker is Mr. Shannon Bowens. Thank you, Shannon.
So the echoes of peace, the living legacy of the Venerable Master Ching Kung, and the voices of interfaith in Toowoomba. So the Master, he saw something in Toowoomba, and not just a regional city, but a meeting place of hearts, cultures and faith. He had a vision and believed that it would be a place where the peace work could begin in Australia. He had a vision and he believed, and then that vision had taken root. This was not just symbolic, it was practical, intentional and courageous. Toowoomba became a place of peace and a place where different faiths do not compete. They sit together, they listen and they learn. And this has changed the spiritual landscape of the city. This was recognised beyond our community. In 2019, Dr. Samuel Hogan of the Deakin University, he formally recognised this work, and he found that the Pure Land Learning College Association and the Multi-Faith Multicultural Centre were instrumental in guiding peaceful responses to religious diversity and change. He described this as the very first initiative of its kind in Australia. He acknowledged that this work contributes to the national understanding of how regional communities can navigate faith, difference, conflict, and with dignity. It's a regional city, and it's quietly leading the nation. Dr. Hogan also clearly stated that the Pure Land Learning College Association is the central multicultural organisation of interfaith peace building in Toowoomba, and that there is no doubt its commitment to an interfaith and multicultural society. It has reshaped the regional and religious environment of this city. Now, this is not theory, this is a lived change. Now, we have a saying in Australia that the proof is in the pudding. So here's the pudding, and it's some examples of the documented evidence of this work. We have the 360 words of wisdom, 360 book of religious scriptures. There's been over 90 conferences and workshops. The Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group have been meeting consistently since 2016, and there's been beyond 100 gatherings. On the radio, there's the Voices of Faith on 102.7 FM, and that amplifies the unity since 2016. There's ongoing interreligious activities, dedicated advisors, there's strong community partnerships, Abrahamic faith gatherings, and collaboration with the Abbey of St. Michael's. This is not just a great idea, this is the foundation and infrastructure for world peace. And I will hand it back to Melissa. Thank you.
The Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group, which was established in 2016, aims to achieve the following mission: to nourish understanding and cooperation among diverse religions and faiths, and be a visible example of acceptance and respect between people; to promote awareness of the tenets and beliefs of the diverse faiths in the Toowoomba region; to provide opportunities for the community to participate in interfaith and community education programs; to practice by word and deed the values of kindness, compassion, and respect for the common humanity of all people; and to work for peace, harmony, and goodwill between people of diverse beliefs. In the next few slides, I will speak about some of the activities that turn our mission into practical and visible outcomes. For over 10 years now, the Interfaith Working Group and its antecedents have prepared regular programs for community radio in the Voices of Faith series. To date, over 500 episodes have been recorded by people of many faiths and covering topics that help illustrate the key faith tenets and the way in which our respective faiths influence our daily living. Recent episodes, for example, included discussions about social justice and humility in dialogue between people from different faith and different cultural backgrounds. The success of this program has led us to consider launching a new podcast series coming soon, Voices of Many Faiths, which will reach a wider audience through online and mobile media. One highlight for me has been the international peace conferences that are organised by the Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group in partnership with many other organisations who are interested in promoting peace, harmony and social cohesion. These conferences include international speakers, and workshops at our conferences help us to delve deeper into important issues, talking together and fostering new ways of working together for the good of civil society. The working group has developed and produced a beautifully presented book set containing selected scripture verses from 10 different faith traditions. The name 360 Scriptures highlights that from each tradition, experts have chosen 360 texts which cover morality, ethics, virtue, and causality. The Scripture 360 series enables people to learn and understand the religious teachings, which leads to greater understanding and respect for the various faiths. At the same time, this will help resolve and prevent social conflict and facilitate peace and harmony in the world. "360 Words of Wisdom" is a smaller volume which is dedicated to Master Chin Kung in memory of his 60 years of treasured Buddhist teaching. I quote from the dedication of the book: "May his wisdom, role and contributions in promoting peace and harmony amongst people of all faiths bring greater happiness and prosperity to humankind." Thank you. I now hand over to our next speaker, Dr. Stephen Hughes, chaplain from the Toowoomba Base Hospital.
Thank you, Reverend. Like others here, my life has been touched by the echoes of peace that are the legacy of Master Chin Kung. His approach to ensuring that the Pure Land Learning College multi-faith, multicultural organisation can clearly demonstrate its outcomes through the cooperative structures which form its foundation are the subject of the next few slides in our presentation. Board of Advisors. A highly qualified Board of Advisors meets once per year and occasionally through Zoom meetings to provide guidance on educational, fundraising and community development matters. The Board of Advisors brings a wealth of experience in diversity, multi-faith and community development. They are a well-established group with deep roots in academia and community development. Pure Land Learning College sent a delegation in 2025 to Kuching, Sarawak, Malaysia, to provide support for Kuching's bid to be recognised as an international city of peace and harmony. In 2025, Toowoomba was officially recognised as an international city of peace and harmony, and the delegation presented the Toowoomba model in Kuching as one way to achieve its objective. Further, one aspect of the Toowoomba model is to nurture others as they engage in peace building through community projects. In addition to the example just given, support was provided to the Abbey, St Michael's Church, as it sought to develop its own community multi-faith program. In 2018, the Abbey adopted the Toowoomba model and has run its own program successfully since that time. Abrahamic faith gatherings. Abrahamic faith gatherings are held quarterly. They aim to strengthen ties through shared history and commonalities, for example, prayer, shared scriptures and rituals. They acknowledge the diversity among the faiths, whilst emphasising that each faith has in common many things. We all pray in our own way according to centuries of tradition, but the commonality is that we all pray. Even within faiths, there is a diversity of prayer styles. Sharing around commonalities helps to build positive relationships and understandings that we can all work together for the benefit of our shared communities. The Pure Land Learning College Multi-Faith, Multicultural Centre has developed many partnerships since its establishment in Toowoomba. These partnerships are evidence of the Master's beneficence and commitment to cooperation. It is through working together to build peace and harmony that we can change the world one community at a time. The following are some of the cooperative partnerships that the Multi-Faith, Multicultural Centre has engaged in. Master Ching Kung's 4 principles of sharing, kind words, beneficial acts and cooperation underpin every project the Pure Land Learning College Multi-Faith Multicultural Centre engages in. Significant funding has been and continues to be a feature of its activities supporting community development projects in the Toowoomba region. Examples include $120,000 to support a medical research agenda managed by the Toowoomba Hospital Foundation, an annual donation of $120,000 to help the Toowoomba Hospice provide services to patients in the last days of their lives, $200,000 in seeding funding for a regional drug and alcohol rehabilitation centre, and other projects include those listed on the slide. The model of operation is to provide these beneficial acts without an expectation of having any control over how the funds are expended. That is left up to the receiving body concerned. The Foundation is a commitment to community-driven action for the benefit of local communities. These acts have provided Pure Land College Multi-Faith Multicultural Centre with a strong sense of community credibility, acceptance and social trust. I now hand over to Senior Constable Catherine English.
Merci, Dr. Stephen. Bonjour and hello, I'm Senior Constable Catherine English of the Queensland Police Service. My role as the Darling Downs District Cross-Cultural Liaison Officer for the last 5 years has been essential to building enduring trust and positive relationships with both First Nations and multicultural communities. So has our Master's vision of echoes of peace and harmony created a legacy. Regardless of faith or culture, the Toowoomba community shows a great enthusiasm for respect, support, peace and harmony through meaningful collaboration. Be they individuals, organisations, or all levels of government, such as myself, those that call Toowoomba home share a vision of unity and cohesion through visible and authentic leadership that is envied across Australia. Coming together at events, commemorations and services, whether in times of joy and celebration or great sadness and grief, these provide opportunities to enrich community bonds in our collective quest for respect, kindness and understanding. As previously mentioned, in 2025, Toowoomba was awarded with the International City of Peace. The vision of this prestigious award became a practical tool to achieve the goal of a model city of peace and harmony. The mission: to unite more and more organisations and individuals to support the many different ways of attaining this goal of peace and harmony. In commemoration of the award, a plaque was unveiled and a native tree planted by Mayor Jeff McDonald, former Mayor Paul Antonio, with the Peace Committee that we see here on the screen, before hosting the annual International Peace Conference. Fred Arment, the chair of the International Cities of Peace, reflected on Toowoomba rising as a mentor and beacon in Oceania. He quotes, "They are truly in charge of their own safety, prosperity and quality of life." He goes on to say, "Outside influences, however seemingly benevolent, cannot export peace. It must come from inside, from people who live within a community that have the knowledge, talent and motivation for continuous practical improvement." So looking forward, the University of Southern Queensland, in collaboration with Singapore University of Social Science, are researching multiculturalism and religious diversity in regional Australia, lessons from Toowoomba. Additionally, the Youth Peace Ambassador Program and Young Voice radio program will be pivotal in ensuring the next generation take up the mission of peace and harmony in Toowoomba. Merci beaucoup. Melissa.
We aspire to encourage responsible and accountable leadership. We're blessed with an excellent group of leaders to begin our work together, who have mentored and developed our emerging leaders. To ensure all of our programs are designed, delivered and owned by the local community, there is a principle of nothing about us without us. Open up dialogue and promote conversation. When we converse, share, and especially when we eat and work together, we build bridges through relationships. It becomes almost impossible to objectify or treat someone as an other. And we practice servant leadership, where there are no positions of status, but we each offer our time, our talents, and our resources for the good of all. Let me talk briefly through this slide as the type is small. This is our strategic roadmap. Our vision to help facilitate Toowoomba as a model city of peace and harmony. Now, there's already been substantial recognition, but there is always more work to be done. Our mission: to strengthen religious and social harmony through greater appreciation of diversity in faiths and beliefs across multicultural communities. And strategic objectives: to facilitate interfaith and multicultural programs targeted at leaders, organisations and communities, to facilitate and nurture the community towards greater social trust. And then a number of programs flow from those objectives. Our tagline, or our motto, is that everyone matters. We all make a contribution through faiths, education, community, youth, leadership, business and media. When we combine our efforts, there is a synergy. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. We finish our presentation by again acknowledging the vision of the late Venerable Master Chin Kung. In Toowoomba, it has become and continues to become a reality that vision is real to us. Although this is a work still in progress, we would welcome any of you to come and see for yourself. You just have to travel all the way to Australia and Queensland and Toowoomba. I thank my fellow presenters and those who have facilitated our very long journey here, especially the Pure Land Learning College. I don't think time allows to answer any questions given we were starting a bit late, so I do thank you for your kindness and your attention. Thank you again. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you. This is our Toowoomba Interfaith Working Group. Another round of applause for them.